Gentlemen, we're done here. Take me to Cold Steel.
She had just given me an OD of Valkyr. I could feel green fire eating my brains. They turned to steam. They did a fade on me. I'd never had a chance. The witch had got me just as sure as if she put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger. The shadows rushed me, bruised mugshot faces hungry for revenge. They knew my weak spots and closed in for the kill. The floor turned into a vortex of green blood. I fell.
The flesh of fallen angels.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Chapter 3. This is the final part for our Max Payne walkthrough. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. Of course, it has been a while since I've recorded an episode, so we are finally finishing it off. And I'm so excited. The rest of the game is going to be super, super tough, so I'll try to do my best to guide you through in the spots I feel you need. Other than that, enjoy the final video. Let's go time.
Max? Where are you, Max? Please.
The letter was staring at me. There was something disturbingly familiar about the letter before me. The handwriting was all pretty curves.
You're in a graphic novel.
The truth split my skull open, a glaring green light washing the lies away. All of my past was just fragmented still shots, words hanging in the air like balloons. I was in a graphic novel. Funny as hell. It was the most horrible thing I could think of. Shiny stuff, and dreams are made of stooped necromancers. He sings like a banana wrist, having strayed too close to the constellations on their shaved skulls. There was a bad line in a prank call. Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar. The weird piece of paper looked dangerous.
So I feel like I need to do a little bit of commentary on this section here. This can be quite tough to do. Follow the route that I do and just try whatever you can to stay in the red. It's very easy to fall off, and it's very easy for your jumps not to kind of register. So quick save right before that section and just give it a little time. Take your time. I was able to get through this first time go, so I was very pleased with it. But it's very difficult to do, and it might be really hard for all of you to see. Just make sure you're following the path that I do. Otherwise, hopefully you'll be able to get through it, because it was a little bit of a challenge, of course, but I know you're going to be able to do it.
Max, something happened at the office today. A strange memo. Something about Vikings.
Honey, I gotta run. You can tell me all about it this evening.
Have a nice day, darling.
The bullet holes were rubies on her chest, blood glowing on her ivory skin. She was so beautiful. The killer was smiling.
The flesh of fallen angels.
Slowly, the green nightmare faded, leaving dark stains on my soul that would never come off. I felt like flatlining. I was all shook up. I woke up in a cold sweat, sick and tired to the bone, lying in a puddle of my own puke. The hag had said take me to cold steel before it had all gone crazy. It was a clue, the only one I had. It took me forever to crawl back to my feet and hit the road, but when I did, I drove straight to Cold Steel Foundry outside the city. There was a whole lot of action around the place for a freezing winter night. Trucks coming and going, men running. I had the drop on the mystery witch. She thought I was dead. I was on her blind side. I was going in. The bad trip had put me in a crazy mood, adrenaline pumping through my aching veins. Staggering on the mill roof in ice and snow and wild wind, I was a ninja. My kung fu was strong. I wasn't kidding anybody. At best, I was Superman on kryptonite about to fall through a skylight, down to where it was all going down. A half-abandoned industrial area in the middle of nowhere. The factory was a perfect front for any number of illegal activities. In the belly of the plant, molten metal boiled and bubbled like a witch's brew.
Casualty status.
So one of the biggest things that I can tell you is to make sure you take your time. Always know when an enemy is going to be around the corner. Get to know the level first.
Life-threatening weather condition. A record-breaking killer storm. In the city's history. Vehicles stuck in snow. Heavy snowfall. Forecast shows. Severe weather is expected to continue.
Out in the night, snow fell like confetti over the Devil's Parade. The storm was anything but over.
Of course, one of the big things about this game is the autosave only gets you at the start of the chapter, so you most for surely need to make sure that you are quick saving throughout, and just always prepare for an enemy to be around a corner, because that's what's going to happen more often than not. So it can be really, really tricky, and also this level has some weird glitches. You're going to see it kind of like freeze a little bit. That is because the level was kind of glitching. The next two levels, I believe, kind of like glitched out on me, where they would pause a little bit and then they would start back up, so you're definitely going to see that in the video. But really, all I can tell you about this specific chapter here is you're going to have a lot of enemies coming out of corners, so you just need to watch the video. You'll know exactly where every enemy is, and you'll be able to achieve what you want. This is just one of those games where, you know, it doesn't matter what difficult you play on, it's going to be tough, so good luck. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump over here and then to the other side. This is so you can grab a few extra items. You want as much ammo as possible. Here, it's a little tricky. If you actually... I mean, you're going to have to jump up just because I couldn't get a really good aim at them, as you can see. And, surprised I didn't die right here. I mean, that's just one of those areas that can be very, very tricky. Take them out as soon as you can, and then we can move on. Alright, so my strategy for this room is to let them come to you. We're going to take out the first guy here. The door is going to shut, but open it back up, you can get an easy sniper shot. The second guy is going to be coming directly at you, so just kind of back up, wait for him to come, and then boom, goes the dynamite. He will always throw a grenade as soon as he gets in here, so make sure you take him out before he has that opportunity.
Can you believe it? I bet they sleep with their rifles. I bet they've given them names.
I guess. So, you don't have a name for your gun?
Hello? Hell no. You do?
Well, yeah.
Shoot to kill. Perimeter breached. The facility has been compromised. Repeat, the Deep Six has been compromised. Initiate Operation Deadeyes.
The walkie-talkie military lingo could mean only one thing. They were getting ready to destroy the evidence and vanish into the night. I was so close. The hidden truths were just around the corner.
Casualty status.
The folder on the table told a grim tale. The mercenaries were running a tight operation, paperwork and all.
Merchandise missing again. A chemist had tried to smuggle it out for his own private party. Locked him up in cell B7 in D6's old test facility to wait for proper processing.
I was close enough to hear the secrets, just beyond the next doorway.
As far as this next room coming up, you're just going to need a little bit of jumping. I know I haven't done any commentary in a while. That's because really there's no... I mean, you see what you need to do on the screen. So I really only want my commentary to be purposefully exactly where you need it to be, and you're going to have to jump those barrels in order to be able to get past that section there. So that's why I felt it was very important to do so. Throw a grenade here. This is one of those areas where you've got a few different obstacles. You've got all of the laser tripwires as well as the fire, so you're going to have to take your time and just wait until the fire goes down. Then you can move across. Otherwise, you will burn to death. And then that's pretty much it. We can keep going. Obviously, more enemies are, you know, going to keep coming. They keep coming pretty much out of, out of thin air sometimes. It can get really, really tough, but just don't lose hope. And I know you're going to be able to do it, so... So believe it or not, I had to edit this part right here because I did about 4 jumps and failed to actually make that jump, because sometimes the jumping can be a little spotty, at least in the PC version. So yeah, I edited that a little bit there. It took me like 4 jumps before I was able to actually land where I needed to go. So, I mean, hopefully I'm letting you know ahead of time in case you do it. So for those of you that don't know, it has just been out that a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2 is in the works from Remedy and Rockstar. So that's right, you know, Remedy is the original developer of the first 2 Max Payne games, and Rockstar, obviously the publisher of the Max Payne series. They have come together for an agreement, and Remedy will be continuing...
The monitor showed me the way.
Max Payne 1 and 2 with 2 remakes. I don't know any more information than that, but this is something to be very, very excited about, and I know I am. Hopefully you guys are as well.
Processing diagrams fill the control room screens, all but one. An elevator titled D6 on one of the screens, somewhere onwards, past rows of ovens, in the core of the plant.
All right, so up ahead is going to be two enemies appearing out of the elevator. So really all you need to do is just have your M79 and you're ready to go.
I had taken on the role of the mythic detective, Bogart as Marlowe, or as Sam Spade going after the Maltese Falcon to unravel all the mysteries. Following a path of clues to that final revelation, even if it would take me down to the cold, cavernous depths of a grave.
You can't do this! My men are still inside!
Do you have any idea why this is called Operation Deadeyes?
I think he's dead already.
Let's do it.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Evacuate the complex immediately.
All right, this level is not too difficult. There's actually only a handful of enemies that you're going to need to take out. You just need to make sure that you follow the path that I show you. Other than that, this is a pretty easy level to get through, and you shouldn't have too much difficulty.
Abort! Abort! The self-destruction sequence has been initiated! Get the hell out of here! The place is gonna blow! Go, go, go!
self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit.
The chemist had been using the workstation when he died. The half-life of the lab rat had ended online, his password blinking on the screen. 665, the neighbor of the beast.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit immediately.
Thanks. I thought I was gonna die in there for sure.
I need you to get me through the decontamination chamber airlock.
You're crazy! No way! The place is blowing up, for Christ's sakes!
Either that or back to the cell. Your choice.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit immediately.
Get in! I'll punch you
Decontamination
through.
in
You did a bad
progress.
thing. Bad.
Decontamination.
I was caught in the middle of the deadly web that was the Valkyr case. One of the lab terminals had the project logo on the screen.
Top secret. Project Valhalla. U.S. Army. Yggdrasil Network. Valhalla. The otherworldly place in Norse mythology where the bravest heroes spent their afterlife feasting and fighting forever, their wounds miraculously healed night after night. Valkyr. The maidens who chose the most courageous Viking warriors and carried them to Valhalla. 1991. The research objective is to create a chemical substance to enhance the stamina and morale of infantry troops. 1995. Results unsatisfactory. Project canceled.
Someone had decided to continue the sick experiment unauthorized.
Project compromised. Data leak. Fix the damage by any means necessary. Security clearance red. Authorized by the project lead. Field test. Double the dosage for all the remaining test subjects. Observe and record the subject's behavior in an urban setting.
The drop-off point was my old address in New Jersey. The file dated 3 years ago. Just when you thought you had reached the deepest depths of horror, it suddenly got worse. How to turn off that small voice inside your head that started to whisper that you should be glad that now, if not before, your revenge was justifiable on any conceivable moral scale. That small voice proved, beyond any doubt, that I was damned. The dagger-heeled woman had come and gone a long time ago. There was nothing more for me here. The bunker's name was acting as a self-fulfilling prophecy. You piece together a jigsaw and the final picture is you finishing that same puzzle. A mad, green-eyed killer standing behind you. An urban legend come true. The Project Valhalla test subjects had been the mad junkies who had murdered my loved ones. The rest was simple body count math. It all pointed to her. Ms. Valkyr. The factory went up in a fiery inferno behind me. All my leads were dead, turned to smoke and dust. I'd lost my way. I hadn't slept in a million years. I felt thin as death. I've been living on an endless supply of week-old donuts. They were fuel for this crazy furnace inside my head. I couldn't remember when I had last seen the sun. I was on a permanent graveyard shift. When the darkness fell, New York City became something else, any old Sinatra song notwithstanding. Bad things happened in the night, on the streets of that other city, Noir York City. I was in an all-night diner, downing cup after cup of coffee that tasted like engine oil, when a new message from BB got me back on the killer track.
What the hell happened at Roscoe Street? Maxie, I'm going out on a limb here. We need to talk this through, come up with a plan. 2:30 a.m., the Choir Communications Garage.
The more I thought about Alex's murder and the frame-up, the more it felt like an inside job. I should have seen it coming. BB had sold me out, and now he wanted to finish what he'd started. The garage was dead. BB showed up in his tailor-made suit, gold watch, and cufflinks to match, all way beyond a cop's pay.
Maxie.
Oozing suave charm, he was guilty as hell. What the hell does BB stand for anyway? Backstabbing bastard?
Come on, don't be like that. Have a cigar.
I don't smoke.
Maxie, you have no idea how big this is. It's huge. You have no idea.
I think I do. You're a bribe-taking bent cop who sold out his partner. Those mobsters in the subway were a dead giveaway. Hard to miss. Bet it was exactly like this with Alex. Up close and personal.
You can't win this one, Max.
No, but I can make damn sure none of you do either. BB turned out to be another cardboard cutout bad guy. A bad cop on the take. A cowardly right-hand man fleeing from the scene, leaving his paid thugs to do his dirty work.
Alright, so this level is probably one of the tougher ones, I say, because there's so many enemies that you need to take out as you're going down through the parking garage. Also, this is another one of those levels where my game will like kind of glitch a little bit and kind of freeze up on me. So you might see some weird edits because of that. It actually froze the game a few times in this level. Almost pretty much every corner that you go around, you're always going to need to expect an enemy to come around that corner. It's just one of those situations where this game just has a lot of those types of enemies where you're running around a corner and then all of a sudden he shows up. So you just got to kind of be prepared and use your shoot dodge and your bullet time a lot in this level. There's really not too much to explain. As your main goal is just to head continuously down and try not to get hit too many times. Always make sure you use your painkillers. Staying behind these little areas here because there's going to be the vehicles that will shoot at you before they continue to move on. They'll do that pretty much almost in every single level as you're going down. As you can see there, it's kind of freezing. So just enjoy the level and lots of enemies to take out in this one, and then we'll see you on the next one.
Reports of a fire at the Punchinello Manor in Westchester. The manor is the home of Angelo Punchinello, the alleged head of the Punchinello crime family. The police are now saying, contrary to their earlier statements, that Max Payne is still alive and at large. He continues his vendetta against the Mafia, of which this last act of arson is attributed to.
I had no recollection of setting any fires, but I did remember the flames.
refuse to do the smart thing.
A payphone started to ring. Yeah.
Max Payne?
Whatever does it for you.
This is Alfred Woden. I can give you the name of your enemy. Come to the Asgard building presently. We are expecting you.
Woden was waiting for me on the steps of the old building.
Mr. Payne, let's go inside. The others are anxious to begin.
The others?
Despite the general misconception, this building actually predates the City Hall by 2 years, thus being the oldest municipal building still in use here at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge.
No kidding. The old man played tour guide as he led me through a dark domed hall. The answers I was after loomed large ahead.
Mr. Payne, I would like to introduce you to my colleagues in what we call the Inner Circle.
You've been watching too much X-Files.
You have seen the files on Project Valhalla. We can fill the gaps, provide you with the information missing from those files. We were all involved in the early stages of the project during the Gulf War.
What's the catch?
We would very much like to blow this thing wide open, but our hands are tied. Her name is Nicole Horn. She was the key figure in Project Valhalla. When the funding was discontinued, she simply refused to quit. She knew exactly what she had in her hands. Nicole Horn is the president of Acer Corporation. She has more than half the city in her pocket. This must be kept under wraps. If you try to go public with this, we will deny any knowledge. We need you to take her out. Afterwards, we can protect you. Make all the charges go away.
That was the cue for the killer suits to kick in the doors and swarm inside. It was an impressive floor show, but I decided to leave early anyway. It was only a one-story fall. Lucky me.
Ah, yes, another level with a lot of enemies around every single corner. Welcome to Max Payne, ladies and gents. So, strategy for this, again, slow your roll. You're going to be doing a lot of shooting of lasers and stuff like that, so just know that every corner is a potential hazard. After you shoot these two right here, after you shoot the laser tripwire, there's going to be a guy that comes out. So just make sure you wait and prepare for that. Again, I wanted to make this commentary less because there's just not a lot to explain as you go through. Like in stealth games, you want to kind of explain why you're doing a certain thing. But in these type of action games, it really is self-explanatory because everything just happens. And really the only thing you need to know is when a specific enemy might come around the corner, and you really get the chance to see that when you're actually watching it. So there's no point in doing a lot of commentary, but yeah, so there won't be a commentary for a while as we're just trying to make our way through this entire building, which will be the next few episodes. But I promise you, you will enjoy action aplenty.
One of the monitors showed what was left of the Inner Circle. On screen, the so-called corpse of Alfred Woden stood up, miraculously waking from his dirt nap, looking smug among his dead pals. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I didn't know how he'd pulled it off, but it was a pretty slick way to get out of all his promises. Most of what he had said fit too well to be a load of crap.
is your answer to those saying that he is actually providing a service long overdue to the city?
This crusade nonsense has gone too far. He's out of control. It must stop. He will be stopped.
That was Deputy Chief Jim Rivera from the New York City Police Department.
A videotape lay on the desk. Nicole Horn had blackmailed the inner circle into silence. The tape came with a curt extortion note on a piece of expensive paper. I remembered Candy Dawn taping her clients in action on the side, selling the tapes to the highest bidder. I was sure that kinky sex was nowhere near Alfred Woden's worst sin. But I had a feeling that when this was over, any collateral would come in handy. Woden had left me a present. Woden had taken care of my mission preps with military precision. The critical areas in the Acer Corporation headquarters blueprints were circled in red. The president's office was at the top of the building, right below her penthouse suite. The elevators were controlled by a security computer, part of the mainframe located underground below the building. The high-rise was sealed as tight as a sci-fi fortress.
Nothing seems to stop Acer Corporation's phenomenal victory march. Incredibly, the stocks are still rocketing. Worried experts already see a danger in the company's success. Some have gone as far as to say that Acer Corporation is about to become an even bigger monopoly than Microsoft ever was.
And the Sundance Kid. A hero's end, going out with guns blazing.
What the hell? Hey! Hey,
I dreamed of revenge. Those dreams were always nightmares, of coming close and then failing. Now I was close. I had a name to guide me, Nicole Horn. I had nothing to lose. The Inner Circle had quite a track record. Project Valhalla had not been the only thing the Inner Circle had been involved in. There were rows of cabinets full of files. The Serpentine Secret Society went back a long way, always pulling strings from the shadows. I couldn't say I was sorry. Woden's move in some Byzantine power game had cut the Circle's membership roster to 1. The old man wanted me on cleanup duty. It was my mess too.
CIA, FBI. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Sure. Good for a practice run. Contact!
Take him down. Shoot to kill. Let's finish this.
I guess they consider this like a little bit of a boss fight with a bunch of different enemies here. It can be rather tough, so just stay behind this. Use your bullet time to your advantage. There's going to be one guy, you can kind of see him in the right side there. He's going to be hiding in that corner. The other guys really won't come out until you take him out. So once you just pick a weapon that you want, I'm going to go with the sniper rifle because it's the only way that I can truly see him. As you can see, it's very hard to see him. But eventually you should be able to get him, and then you can take the rest of the guys out with your M79 because they'll come in right after that, and you can take them all three out at the same time. End of level.
Mine wasn't the most original approach to the problem. It wasn't as if it hadn't all been done before. An eye for an eye, the first principle of revenge. Old as dirt, still going strong. The cardinal rule in going after someone with an intention to kill was not to make it personal, which it almost always ended up being anyway. It did with me. I took my time, cruising around the city in the snow. There was no hurry. I knew what I had to do now. I took my time, thinking about it, building up the rage. When I was ready, I parked the stolen wheels at the front entrance of the Acer Corporation headquarters. Got out, got in, got cracking. I had a bullet with Nicole Horn's name on it. I had 10,000 bullets with the Hag's name on them. She had ultra-high-tech security systems, enough mercenaries and weaponry to start World War III. There was no fear. New York disappeared behind a veil of snow. I had crossed the threshold. This was her domain, sleek and sexy and soulless, all glass and steel. A place of color-coded security keycards, metal detectors, and surveillance systems. Colder than a walk-in fridge. Cold as a gun.
All right, ladies and gents, we've made it to the final area. This is not the final mission, but this is the final area. So with this one, you're going to have, again, a lot of guards coming at you. Take the M79 first. Switch to your sniper rifle here because you're going to have 3 enemies to take out here. So go into slow motion, and you should be able to get all 3 before the timer runs out. Otherwise, they're just going to destroy you. You're going to have to go for the crotch on that one because I couldn't see his head. But other than that, it really essentially is us just kind of gaining each level higher and higher. Expect the worst. Expect enemies coming out at on a moment's notice. We have a lot of close calls here, but we're going to do our best to get you through to the end. course, this is one of my favorite areas right here, where you have to kind of jump over the tripwires. I wonder if Resident Evil 4 got this from this game. But this is a really cool section here. You got to wait till they both are down, then you can go, and then wait till that's down, and then you can jump. So yeah, I gotta say, I really, really enjoy little things like that, especially, you know, this game came out such a long time ago, over 20 years ago. So I don't know what it is about lasers and jumping over them and stuff. I've always found that to be very, very fun, and I'm really glad that they included that in this game. So again, we're getting closer to the top. There's going to be a big fight coming up ahead after the comic cutscene, so just make sure you're prepared for that, and then we'll keep moving.
Mona, looking good.
Max, we gotta stop meeting like this.
It will be a cold day in hell before I let a narc cop stop me. Miss Sachs, do your job.
Relax, Max. You're a nice guy. I don't kill nice guys.
You're not bad yourself.
It was different when Horn wanted Punchinello dead, to cut her ties to the Mafia. He deserved to die.
The same goes with her. She's the bad guy here. Her sister was whispering to her in my favor. I knew the appetites of ghosts intimately. They hungered for revenge.
No!
A gunshot boomed and she fell down in slow motion. She was a nice girl, not really a stone-cold killer. And now she was stone-cold dead. Like religious fanatics or loyal samurai, Horn's private army was coming at me.
I have him.
When the elevator came back down, Mona was gone. There was a lot of blood, but no body. Something clicked for the final time. My mind had never been so clear, as if somewhere high above the storm clouds were already gone, cold stars blazing from the black skies.
This section is pretty straightforward. You need to make sure that you shoot the lasers. You got to shoot a specific spot on the lasers, which is like where it's actually connected at. Do so with your Colt to have the best opportunity. Don't always think that your bullet's going to land where you think it's going to land. It could be very, very close, but you should hopefully be able to get it once you find out which side the actual laser thing is on. Other than that, we'll continue to move on.
What I'm talking about, and all the cool... What the hell?
I had elevator access to the mainframe. From there, I'd be able to override the security locks and get to her office. The unmarked chopper was Horn's pet guardian, inhuman and flawless. It was stalking me.
I'm not a cold-blooded killer. I'm a nice guy. I love my wife. I have 2
Locks were now offline. All bets were off. The elevator would take me all the way up. Seen from this height, the night seemed to stretch on to eternity. A hint of desperation had crept into the snowstorm, as if it was trying to get it all out before the end. Horn's personal computer was on. Next to the printer was a neat stack of expensive paper. Hacking through Horn's computer would have unearthed files of criminal plans, strategies for world domination, spy helicopter reports, illegal wiretap recordings, internet porno, all of the above. Take your pick. I really didn't care anymore. I had seen too much of it already. Valkyr had been meant to be a white-winged maiden that would lift you to a warrior's heaven, but it turned out to be a one-way demon ride to hell. The devil was in the drug. I knew. I had met him. And now I was gonna kill her. The queen of the underworld who had tried to lift herself a bit closer to heaven with her drug money. No begging, no bribes. She knew better. Honor among killers. We who were about to die. Both of us knew how this would end, in pain and suffering.
All this because your wife stuck her nose into things that were none of her business.
The cops were coming to take me away. The sirens were like a bad conscience I couldn't shake.
It's ridiculous you've made it this far. You won't be alive when they get here.
Stop him!
All right, ladies and gents, here we are for the final level. I know you guys have been excited and waiting for this. We're going guns a-blazing. Let's do it. Taking these guys out is pretty simple. Once they're done, you're going to hit the little button, and then you're going to have to deal with a helicopter. The helicopter is pretty easy. All you need to do is stand behind the pillar and just wait for it to finish firing. Otherwise, all that's pretty easy. I like how I just jumped right through them there.
Max Payne, this is futile. A waste of time. The deaths of your wife and daughter were necessary. Inevitable. It is done. You cannot bring them back. Nothing you do will make it any better. Max Payne, you are fighting a losing battle. You cannot survive this. You will die. Stop fighting. Make it easy for yourself. Accept your fate. You will die here.
Once we go around here, there is a guy that comes out the elevator right behind us, but if you're fast enough, you don't have to worry about him. Move over to the left side, and then we're going to jump across. Make sure you do a dodge here. If you do not do the shoot dodge here, then the helicopter will take you out every time. But if you do just one dodge, it's never hit me. So that's all you really got to do. There's going to be a guy coming down the stairs. There's going to be a grenade around the corner. So go up here to kind of trigger it, and then wait for it. And as soon as you see it, go back down. These guys can be a little tough to aim at, but eventually you should be able to get them, and then we can move on.
better trained, better equipped. You outnumber him at least 20 to 1. Do your job.
All right, so as you can see now, we've got all the way to the top here. One little section to go. Section is pretty easy. It's not too difficult. You're just going to need to use your sniper rifle and take out about 6 or 7 enemies. When you're going up here, just kind of dodge left and right and she won't be able to hit you. And then I'll explain what happens once we get up here.
Roger that. Attempting to land now. It's gonna be tricky. She's on board. We're out of here.
So we're going to use a sniper rifle, of course, and we're going to aim and shoot this. Once you're done, then immediately back up. You're going to have a bunch of guys at you. You can do this either way you want. You want to use your whatever weapon. I prefer to use the Indian here just because I can aim a lot and fire a lot at them, so that way to make sure I'm safe. Once you see that they're all done, head over here. This is going to allow you to be able to aim at the next spot and use your sniper, and that's it. You've completed Max Payne. Use your M79 and destroy the radio, and then you're good to go.
30 seconds to lift
Take the power.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger. And then it was all over. The storm seemed to lose its frenzy. The ragged clouds gave way to the stars above.
Max Payne, this is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD. We've got the building surrounded. Throw down your weapons and lie down with your hands behind your head.
A bit closer to heaven. cops' voices were distant and muted.
Free! NYPD! Hold it right there!
My ghosts released me from their haunting. Down below, New York City glittered like diamonds on black velvet.
You gave us one hell of a ride. Take him down to Central Booking.
You heard the man.
Woden was there in the crowd, standing by the sidelines. It wouldn't be over till the man with the patch would say so. He'd say the right words. I knew he would. He'd better. Woden grinned smugly. It was the grin of a winner. That made two of us.
All right, ladies and gents, I really do hope you all enjoyed Max Payne 1. Of course, we'll be continuing with Max Payne 2 coming soon. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. Hope that you all enjoyed. And I'm sorry it took so long to finish it, but we got her done. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.